Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Golf Talk Radio. Mike and Billy. So glad you are listening to us today. Going to be a fun day. We are back in studio. At least I am back in studio in San Luis Obispo, California. My name is Billy Gibbs. That guy right over there is Mr. Mike Brabennick. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Mr. Billy Gibbs.
And inside the headphones is the amazing Hop from Bakersfield. Good morning, Hop. How are you?
Morning, gentlemen. I'm just right as rain.
Morning.
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 I heard you had a good week last week. You had Nikki in for a quick, brief stop on the Central Coast, and off she went.
It was fascinating.
Yeah, you talked about
really
Solheim, did you?
Yeah, and more just the trip to Scotland. And I thought, man, what would be better than if my buddy Billy and I went to Scotland?
Well, if Hop came along, that would
and
add,
Hop.
That would add to
that
it.
would add.
I would be your permanent caddy.
That would make it better.
Yeah, that would make it better, for sure.
It sounded pretty cool.
Well, cool. She was here and hit and gone quick, man. Yeah. She's already over in the islands. Bing, bing. So, yeah, man. So it's going to be a good show, Mike. We have not spoken for a while, not because we're not speaking to each other, just we've been both busy, and so got a text last night. So, what do you want to do in the show today? I said, I have no idea. So he put some ideas together, and something's going on in the world of drivers, and we're going to talk about it. So this show's main theme is Drives Me Crazy.
I found some really cool old school driver stuff that you're going to love, Gibby.
And
really cool stuff.
And the main focus is recently they're testing drivers on the tour now. They kind of like drug tests. They pop in and test certain 30 players, drivers each week on the tour, and they're finding some of them are not. They're just not conforming, and some of them. And no, is it a crime? Is it not? I mean, it's an interesting story. Is this an intentional or is it unintentional? But players, there's been some. We'll talk about it later. But there's been some like Schauffele and Jason Duffner and Robert Streb and all these guys.
Yeah.
So interesting. So we're going to be talking to which that drives me crazy. There's a lot of things that drive me crazy. So that's kind of the theme.
Gotcha.
And then there's a new craze which drives me crazy on so-called non-conforming or illegal drivers that the public are buying, or the recreational golfer, I should say, not the public, but the recreational golfer. And is it wrong? And is it, I don't know, we'll talk to, do you check drivers and kick people out of your tournaments if they have one of these hot drivers or whatever?
Wow, I never thought of that.
So there's a lot of discussion in that. Is it worth it? What mostly drives me crazy is that most people don't have a skill set to hit a driver anyways. So why are they going to, trying to find some magic club? So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. And I drove crazy on the way up here, so I just wanted to just let you know that I would get with the theme, so I was driving crazy.
You did, but you made it.
Yes, we did. We're going to have the old report. We're going to do whatever Mike's found. I'm just kind of sitting here and going to be your cohort today. So I've got a few things to ponder later, but I'm here for you. But I do have a amazing BM, which is not often that I have a big BM.
Well, would you like to have that BM first, or would you like to round out the BM with the BM?
You want me to round out my BM?
Well, if you're on the tail end,
this is a big one, and
okay.
But it's if you want to pinch one.
No,
first,
I think maybe
because this will be hard to follow. I can tell you that.
Well, then maybe what I can do is the BM part that I was going to talk about, which is actually about golf, so it's not really a BM.
Mine is too, a little bit.
Is it? Go ahead. I want to hear your BM.
Well, as you know, last week I was at Pebble Beach for the Pure Insurance Championship. It's a Champions Tour event where the legends of golf play at the best courses in the world, and they play with first tee young people. And we had a first tee kid, Claire Alford, was playing from our chapter, and she was paired with Jay Haas. And so we went up, Josie and I went up to watch her play, for a few days before and then we brought a bus of kids up so they can watch her play. But the story is written, this is actually written, these words are written from Bill Harmon, which is the brother of Butch Harmon. So you know who Butch is, right?
Yeah.
So, and this has been circulating through the First Tee Network and the First Tee home office and the headquarters, and it got back to us. So this came unsolicited to us, right? So I'm going to read this. It's going to take a few minutes,
Can't
right?
wait to hear it. Yeah.
So this is Bill Harmon, who caddied, by the way, for Jay Haas for the event. So he was with Claire all days, right?
Gotcha.
So it says, I'm caddying in the First Tee Tour event at Pebble Beach. Each tour player is paired with a First Tee junior player who is not chosen strictly on golf ability, but for being a good person. They have core value standards that must be met. We are paired with a young lady named Claire Alford from Central Coast, California. She's 16 years old and plays to a 4 handicap and is a beautiful player. She was a 4 at Pebble. She's a 2.2, but Pebble, She was a 4 at Pebble,
Wow.
or at Poppy, excuse me.
Right.
I've been around golf my entire life. Started over 60 years ago. I've been exposed to Saracen, Hogan, Snead, Nelson, Palmer, Jack, Gary, and on, all the way up to Tiger and Phil. I'm a bit embarrassed to say that I may have learned more about how to play the game from a 16-year-old girl named Claire yesterday. So this is the Harmon family who's been around all these legends their whole life.
Cool.
I'm not talking about technique, course management, short game, etc. I'm talking about playing the game for the right reasons. Claire plays with innocence, a spunk, a wonderment, a flair, a presence, a poise, a purity, and with a demeanor like no other. She plays the game with a swing that is not marred by fear or thought. She plays the game the way it's meant to be played. I personally play warding off negativity, fear, unreasonable expectations, self-hatred, self-loathing, anger, and many more demons that I don't care to share. I asked Claire if she was going to play college golf, and this is what she replied. My life would be better served if I pursued medical school, but I will always be a golfer. I was stunned to hear that come from this young lady at 16 years of age. As the round wore on, I couldn't take my eyes off her. I watched her prepare. I watched how she handled poor shots and great shots. I watched her etiquette, how she handled herself with Jay and the other 2 successful amateurs in our group. At no point did she not fit in. Simply a remarkable young lady. So this is why golf is so great. Even though I come from a pretty cool family, I'm not sure I've ever learned more about golf and its meaning than I did from Claire Alford. After the round, Jay Haas and I took her over to the practice bunker for a little work, and just her attitude as a student was wonderful. She talked about how wonderful and dedicated all her teachers are at the first tee. She talked about what a great opportunity it was for her to participate in this event. Everything about her was grounded in gratitude. Today, I have the privilege one more day with her at Pebble Beach. I will be watching her very closely because she has become my mentor. This is a 70-year-old man who's now Claire as a mentor on how to play and enjoy the game. I was told a couple things when I got into recovery, and that have been useful. One is every day you can see in people what you want to be and what you don't want to be. I want to be like Claire. The other thing I heard that stuck with me is without growth, life would be boring. I will thank Claire when we are finished for how much she has taught me. Bill Harmon. He wrote this on 9/28/19 about Claire Alford, our girl that went up to play the first tee.
That's so awesome.
How amazing is this letter from one of the legendary families in the business of golf?
Yeah.
Learned more from a 16-year-old than he did from Saracen and Hogan and Snead and these guys. How cool is that? Made me cry, gave me goosebumps, and this letter is a pretty impressive letter. So that's basically what the first tee, exemplifies what the first tee stands for, what it's all about. She is an exceptional young lady. We've had her on the show before.
Yeah.
But she just has this way about her. So if you watched it on television, it was her marquee group that they followed. So I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was her. They followed her for 4 holes.
Oh, wow. I didn't see
on Saturday. And so it was kind of fun. I'm getting texts, hey, she's on TV, she's on TV. So we went home and taped it and got to watch it ourselves afterwards. But it's pretty amazing. She did one of the best interviews I've ever heard. You know, John Cook went out and interviewed on the 16th fairway and talked to her, and she just answered it like a polished professional. She's just this one incredible young lady, and so they played good too. And they were in a hunt on the first day. Jay Haas, they played Pebble the second day, and Jay struggled and shot 82. But their group was 3 under.
Oh, wow.
He's 10 over. Claire and him are 3 under, if that tells you how good Claire played. Claire helped him. Helped him 15 shots that day alone.
Oh my gosh!
So she played like a star. They missed the cut by 1 shot.
Oh, that was what they missed by?
Yeah. So if Jay would have made his, Jay's a great player. He just struggled.
Yeah.
Pebble was playing really hard and windy, but 1 birdie would have got him in there inside. She shot down mid to low 70s on her own ball. And so when he had a bad hole, she was parring or birdie. So she helped him 15 shots that day. So she played great, and never she just said, well, he tried, we all tried, we did our best. She's got that kind of attitude, but it's all been positive, and so so even her, she's like, well, we gave it a best shot. But the group of 40 kids we brought all had signs and they're clapping, and she's making bomb putts, and it was pretty cool day. But this letter says it all right here. So thank you, Bill Harmon. I actually sent you a thank you note, and I know, of course, you listen to our show, Bill. But
I saw a cool picture somebody snapped of you, or maybe they freeze framed it off the TV where you were high-fiving her.
That was just
Was that
was
on
on the 16th hole.
Was that a picture? Or was that on TV?
That was a picture that Mia Cameron took after she made a bomb putt on that hole and walked over to the rope, and we high-fived, and then she hit the best iron on 17. I mean, stood right up and in strong winds and just flushed it up there about 12 feet from the hole and lipped that out. And then 18 was dead into the wind. 18 was playing brutal. And she made the best par. Just 3 solid shots onto the green and almost made that putt too. So she just played great, and waving to the crowds and smiling the whole time. And golf's not her. She loves the game, but she's going to be a doctor. She's going to be an anesthesiologist, and that's what she's. We've talked about her. Can't brag enough. But anyways, that letter says everything right there. So I had to share that with you. So
it was interesting as you're reading the letter, because the few times that I've had the opportunity to hang out with her, you sent her up and we did club fittings and all that stuff. And then she's come up because she plays in the high school, so they'll play Paso. And she always comes in and says hi, seeks me out. We have a great conversation. And then as I'm listening to the letter, and I'm thinking that's exactly how she is. That's exactly that describes her to a T.
And everybody who's met her feels that way. She was on Sunday at Pebble. The Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, the trustees met at Pebble Beach. The trustees, first tee trustees, and they're the ones that donate $1 million plus. There's a handful of those guys: Jack Nicklaus and Clint Eastwood, and a few very wealthy people who support the first tee. And one of them is the CEO from Perfect Sense, which is out of Washington, D.C. So she went to the Perfect Sense Academy, right? She was over in Washington. So as she gets a text, her mom gets a text from the CEO of Perfect Sense, saw Claire on TV, said, "Hey, I'm coming to Pebble on Sunday. I want to see you guys." So the CEO calls Claire and they said, "Let's meet." So they met up just to say hi. He remembers he's the CEO of Perfect Sense, huge company, right? And so he remembered her. The president of the first tee remembers her from Academy and sought her out, shook her hand, and she just has this way of herself that people remember who she is and what a remarkable person she is. So she's like one in a trillion kids that she's not even a kid, but she's only 16. She's a kid.
She doesn't. When you talk to her, though, she doesn't seem like a kid.
So so respectful. So I called her right after on our way home. No, I knew she was on her way home Sunday. I didn't go up Sunday. So I called her and I knew she was driving home. So I just said, "How you doing? How did it end up?" She said, "Sorry, I haven't got back to you. I'm studying. I'm doing my homework in the car on my way home." So she went right from this amazing event right to her books. That's just who she is.
She's got insane classes too. She was telling me about it when
5 AP classes.
Talked to her last week.
4.7 grade point average right now, and she helps me on Sundays. So she did 2 Sundays ago, and I looked down at our check-in table, and she has her chemistry book on it. So she came to help my class as a coach. And, anytime she's at her chemistry book. So what are you doing with this?
Gosh.
Well, I thought I could get a few minutes of studying during snack break.
Man. That is awesome.
That's who she is, though. And she played great. Man, she played Poppy great, too. I mean, she really played well. I think they were 7 under or 6 under or 7 under the first day, maybe 7 or 8 under. And the lead was 10. I mean, they were right near the lead.
You're right there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of teams that were in that bunch of that number. But then Jay had a...
Yeah, I did sneak a peek because I really wanted to watch, and I'd go into through the bar and the restaurant, and they had it on all the TVs on Saturday. But you know how it goes. I mean, just
I do
this, that, and the other. I'm trying to peek, I'm trying to look, and then I'm seeing stuff on social media with you, and then I checked on. I was checking on. I think it was late Saturday, and I saw that Jay had struggled, and I thought, that's too bad. But I didn't know that it was windy. I didn't know it was all that. I just figured, it is what it is, But the hard part was I had a really difficult time finding information on the team scores.
Yeah, you had to go to Josie was able to find it, and so she's a superstar in finding things. But it was Champions Tour / First Tee Juniors or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't a simple thing. You could find the Champions Tour scores.
Yeah, and
but
found
you need
those.
to find juniors / juniors, and not junior, but juniors or whatever. So you found it, and it came up. So so we were checking it as we went, watching it through. But it was awesome. I mean, I was in, I've been going there for the last bunch of years. We've had a lot of kids play, and we've had a kid win. Jack Averitt won it in 15, but This was different. And it was very, very cool. And the mom has never really seen her play. She plays in tournaments in high school golf, but have never really walked around. And so she had no idea. And then neither one of the family, they were prepared for what an enormous event this is. And this is a big event. Man.
Yeah, totally. It really is.
And so they don't think she was prepared for inside, but it blew her away. She handled it with grace and with skill. But you could see she was so perfect. But they weren't ready for this. It was a massive event, right? It's just a pretty cool thing. So it was neat, man. So
what a great moment, man. Well, congratulations too, because I know that you're with Claire a lot. And she's such a great person.
My kid,
but she, you have a big impact on her and all those kids, and you do a great job with them. So
thanks.
That's a great story.
I'm hearing that a lot too,
awesome.
And I think there's some truth to that. But no, this girl is her own individual. It's just that person, She used to be pretty shy and kind of withdrawn, so I've helped with that because to get her to open up and be more social because she's so brilliant that she's focused in this brilliance of her mind and education thirst.
Right.
She's just so that took away from some of the social, but I think I've had a part to help that because she's a polished speaker.
Yeah.
And knows how, like you said, she looks up in your eyes and shakes your hand. She walks with confidence but she's always grateful. It's always humble, always grateful. Mm-hmm. And that is a rare thing to see in someone with that much talent.
Yeah, and that speaks volumes of you and everyone else who is with her every day, man.
I'm grateful to be with you and Hop today.
I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it's supposed to be. It's giving kids opportunities.
Yeah.
It's so cool when they pounce on them and just see them pounce on it and move forward with it is like a really proud moment,
Brandon come
really
running
cool.
down, Brandon Luna.
Yeah.
He come running down. The interview for her was live on Saturday at the 16th hole, and we were following her, so we didn't know anything was going. Couldn't hear the interview, but it was on TV live. And so Brandon come running down when we got to 17 green or 18 fairway. That was the best interview we've ever had. She's a professional. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, you should have heard her. We're going to put that in a can. We're going to use that for. So he was so, just
nice.
blown away from this little young lady that just walked in and stole the show. Didn't even make the cut, And the cool thing is that this year they gave a girls champion and a boys champion. It used to be just the champion, right? The team and the below. So if a girls made the cut, which many did, I think at least half the 23 teams that made the cut, I think more than half might have been the pro and the girl.
Yeah.
But they gave a boy did win from Sacramento, a lowest score. But they also gave the low score to the girl, which was she was fifth in the field, but there was the champion of the girls.
That's awesome.
So they were equal champions. And so this year they opened, and that's so great because now the girls, because there wasn't a girl winner in the past.
Yeah.
So, and as there should be. And it was so cool. So that was neat this year. The whole event's great. Pure Insurance, thank you. And Chevron, a big sponsor. Yeah. Bunch of everybody's, it's just huge, man. So next year you got to go.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
So that's all I got, man.
That was a great BM, man.
Yep.
And with that, we're going to take our first break. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by McGowie Health Group, healthyslowcounty.com. That's healthyslocounty.com. Or call them at 805-461-8822. Get yourself back on track physically, dietary-wise. You need to do it. Visit McGowie Health Group at healthyslowcounty.com. We'll be right back. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy.